Thanks very much for being here. Can you tell me what is the situation right now? What is the latest on the Israeli-Gaza, Israeli-Palestinian conflict right now?
Well, I think that we should not call it the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, but rather call it the war against the terror organizations in the Gaza Strip, which is the Hamas and the Islamic Jihad, which, as you all know, on the 7th of October, decided to brutally, barbarically, I have no words to describe the cruelty in which thousands of Hamas terrorists infiltrated into Israel, into civilian villages and communities, and in the most cruel manner, massacred families, massacred babies, beheaded them, killed old people, women, children, raped them, burned them alive. I mean, the atrocities are beyond imagination, and our war is with these terror organizations. They cannot continue to stay in the Gaza Strip on Israel's border.
Nevertheless, since then, since we had a report in this program from Dragana Solomon, who's the head of BIR in Kosovo, and reported to us immediately after the attacks. We've interviewed her. She's told us about those attacks, Hamas attacks, and how it felt like, and we've seen it on TV. The world was shocked, and Kosovan authorities did condemn the Hamas attack. But nevertheless, Mrs. Ziv, it has been 4 weeks since the 7th of October, and 9,061 Palestinians have been killed, according to the BBC, out of which 65% of 9,000 Palestinians have been women and children. When you talk about the brutality of Hamas, which goes undisputed, how well do you think these civilian casualties of women and children make Israel seem, if we've got such brutality happening from Israeli shelling too?
Well, I think we have to put everything in the correct context because, first of all, I'm not sure that these numbers that you have are accurate. I want to remind you that the Palestinian Health Authority is a Hamas body, and we have already seen that their reporting of casualties is usually far from being precise. So I don't argue with the fact that in this fighting there have been civilian casualties, and I must say that my heart goes out to any innocent civilian, woman, man, child, whoever who has been hurt, and that goes without saying. I hurt for the innocents in Israel and in the Palestinian people as well. This is not our goal. But on the other hand, you have to remember that the Hamas is a cynical organization which has no regard whatsoever for its people. And the more civilian Palestinians are killed, the better it is for their propaganda. They cynically use the Palestinian people as human shields. They erect in hospitals, in schools, in mosques, all of their infrastructures, their command and control centers. They put huge amounts of weapons there. They fire on our troops and on Israeli civilians from these locations. So the fact that civilians are hurt has a lot to do with what they're doing. And I want to remind you that Israel has been shelled by 9,000 rockets since this began, 600 of which have fallen inside the Gaza Strip and have hurt, killed, and injured Palestinian people.
Ms. Ziv, just a second. I want to just a little bit challenge the fact that you don't accept that 9,000 Palestinians have died, because international organizations, international aid organizations do accept this toll, because they say the Palestinian PLO health authorities have not proven to have lied in the past, and also that this is the number according to their data. Nevertheless, you dispute that over
I'm not
9,000 civilians
disputing
have
the
died.
number
What
9,000.
are your figures? What are the Israeli figures? How many Palestinians have died since the shelling in Gaza began from 7th of October?
I don't have the exact number, and I'm not disputing the fact that there may have been 9,000 casualties. I'm just saying that 65% of them are women and children. I'm not sure if this is a correct number. It could very well be that the division in the numbers is different, but that's not the point. Mm-hmm. The point is, undoubtedly, many civilians are hurt and have been hurt on both sides, and of course, this is not our goal. And as you also know, since the beginning of this, our spokespeople have told the Palestinians, please go south. Go south of Wadi Gaza in order to be in a safe zone, in order to be in the area in which the international organizations are working, in order to be in the area in which the humanitarian aid is arriving.
But the history of Israel, the Palestinian representative ambassador here has spoken about the fact, whom I interviewed before you, as I told you, he's spoken about the fact that Palestinians have learned the lesson of being ethnically cleansed from areas, settlements where today there are Israelis, and they've been ethnically cleansed in the past. Therefore, they see this request to move in the south as a request to ethnically cleanse Palestinians from very dense Gaza. Is that true? Is Israel trying to ethnically cleanse Gaza?
No, absolutely not. We have absolutely no interest in the Gaza Strip. I want to remind you that in 2006, we one-sidedly left the Gaza Strip, and since 2006, Gaza has been governed only by the Palestinians. In the beginning, it was the Palestinian Authority, and in 2007, the Hamas overthrew the Palestinian Authority and took control of the Gaza Strip and created a terror regime in the Gaza Strip. So we have absolutely no wish to stay in the Gaza Strip. After the war is over, and hopefully Hamas will be dismantled from its military and governance capabilities, the world will have to think together with the Palestinians what would be the best regime for the Gaza Strip, in which both the Palestinians and the Israelis will be able to live in peace, one next to the other.